Warning. The following show is intended strictly for entertainment purposes. While Kyle is an actual therapist, the diagnoses within apply to fictional characters only. Don't self-diagnose on the internet, kids. We aren't WebMD.
Jesus, how does he do that? It's ridiculous. I'm not doing it normal. Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Deconstructed, where we take a look at some of your favorite characters from pop culture and give them real-world mental health diagnosis. My name's Kyle, and today we're going to be taking a look at the most eligible bachelor in the DC universe, Lex Luthor. Nah, I'm kidding, it's Batman. So, Batman is, as we all know, Bruce Wayne from Gotham City. He was born the son of Thomas and Martha Wayne, who are killed in an alleyway, which is witnessed by Bruce at the age of 8. From that point on, Bruce goes on to school, he fights a lot, gets into a lot of trouble, and eventually goes up to seek revenge in the form of Batman. Batman uses the bat symbol as a way to invoke fear, to create an icon that criminals will be afraid of rather than just a man, since they aren't afraid of the police force or any kind of real authority in Gotham City. Now, when it comes to Batman, like a lot of characters, there are different versions we can take a look at, but for the purpose of this diagnosis, we're going to look strictly at Bruce Wayne. We might in the future take a look at like Thomas Wayne or Terry McGinnis or whoever else we have as options, but for now we're focusing primarily on Bruce. Now, obviously, when it comes to Bruce Wayne and Batman, we obviously are going to take a look at trauma. However, Bruce Wayne / Batman does not actually meet criteria for adjustment disorder, acute stress disorder, or post-traumatic stress disorder. He does have some of the criteria, like flashbacks and acting out. However, he never meets full criteria for any of these particular disorders. So because of that, I don't necessarily want to ignore the trauma, because that would just be silly to ignore all the trauma he has gone through in his life. So we're going to take a look at an unspecified trauma disorder. Now that basically means that the person might meet some criteria for other trauma disorders, like I said, the flashbacks, the acting out because of the trauma, but they don't meet full criteria for anything in particular. Because of that, it's an unspecified disorder and can still be diagnosed. Now, like a lot of characters, we need to take a look at personality, and ironically, Bruce Wayne is going to meet the same diagnosis as a lot of the villains that I've covered, and that is antisocial personality disorder. Now, antisocial personality disorder, as we talked about before, is defined as a pervasive pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others, occurring since age 15 years, as indicated by at least 3 criteria. Now, as we've already talked about, Bruce Wayne does kind of get into a lot of trouble as a kid. He fights a lot, goes out and does whatever he wants, and that kind of covers that age 15 years part. Bruce Wayne meets criteria 4 for antisocial personality disorder, and that is irritability and aggressiveness, as indicated by repeated physical fights or assaults. We see this all the time in the movies, the comics, everywhere. Bruce Wayne, as Batman, gets into a lot of fights. He's very aggressive. He goes out in the streets and finds criminals and just beats them down, beats them mercilessly, often sending them to the hospital, breaking bones, whatever it may be. Batman's also going to meet criteria 5, which is reckless disregard for safety of self or others. Now we see this because not only does he have a lack of disregard for safety for himself, because he's out there fighting crime, getting into the thick of things, he also really is kind of disregarding the safety of the people he's attacking, the police force, and the Bat family, so to speak. He brings in Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl, just a slew of other people who have no dog in this fight, but he brings them into that world and really doesn't seem to care what happens to them. Now, we do see occasionally he does care if something happens, but if he really has a lot of disregard based purely on the fact that he's bringing them into that situation. Finally, Bruce Wayne / Batman is going to meet criteria 7, a lack of remorse as indicated by being indifferent to or rationalizing having hurt, mistreated, or stolen from another person. In this case, Bruce Wayne rationalizes that he does all of these things. These people are criminals, they deserve what they get. He's hurting them, and he's using that as a rationalization, even though a lot of these people may be mentally ill. As we've discovered already, a lot of them are mentally ill, and attacking them is just not what they need in that moment. Alright guys, so that's it for Bruce Wayne. Looks like we are looking at an unspecified trauma disorder because we do not want to ignore all the trauma that he's endured. We're also looking at antisocial personality disorder. Same thing we've diagnosed Bane with, same thing that Voldemort has. Alright guys, well thank you again so much for watching this week. Join us next week. We'll be taking a look at Superman because Batman vs. Superman does come out here in a few weeks. Make sure you leave a comment below, let us know who you want to see next. And like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you next week. Thanks. Bye. Okay, now we get to just the background sound. Oh, Jesus, thing is the... God. Ah! Oh, God. Yeah. Did I get it? How does Superman just rip the eye makeup off with the mask and the trimmer?
That's how strong Superman is.
Yeah.
He's so strong he tore off his eye makeup.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yeah, maybe it's Maybelline. Put this back on for a second.